In the heart of the city, surrounded by skyscrapers and neon lights, stood a house that seemed stuck in another time. Life rushed all around it, cars honking, people hurrying, but the house remained still, as if someone had turned off its clock long ago. The paint on the walls was peeling, rust covered the window frames, and the wooden door creaked like it carried the weight of years. People passed by quickly, avoiding even a glance. Many stories were whispered about that place, yet no one really knew the truth, only that no one ever stayed there for long. One afternoon, a moving van stopped in front of the old house. Laughter echoed as boxes were unloaded and children ran about, breaking the silence for the first time in years. Daniel and Rachel Parker, along with their 2 kids, had just moved in. They'd been looking for an affordable place in the city, and this one seemed like a lucky find. When Rachel stepped inside for the first time, a strange chill ran through her. The air felt damp, carrying an old, earthy smell, something between dust and forgotten memories. She told herself it was just an old house. Some cleaning and sunshine would fix everything. As they unpacked, the children's laughter filled every corner. Ethan peeked into an old wardrobe while Lila leaned over the balcony rail to look outside. Their excitement brought life to the place again, and Rachel felt a quiet relief. After so long, she could finally see her kids smiling freely. But as the sun went down and shadows grew longer across the walls, the air seemed heavier. When night fell, the silence became almost alive, a silence that wasn't just heard, but felt. Rachel couldn't sleep. She lay awake listening to the creaking floorboards, the soft tapping at the window, and something faint, like a rhythm or a whisper carried by the wind. She felt watched, though when she opened her eyes, there was only the wall, faded, damp, and somehow breathing. The next morning, Rachel noticed small footprints on the floor of the children's room, tiny wet footprints, like a child had walked barefoot through water. She swept them away, but the image stayed with her. It wasn't fear exactly, more like a quiet unease, a chill that settled deep inside. As days passed, the house grew restless. There was always a faint echo in the air, as if the past still lingered somewhere inside the walls. Pots clinked on their own. The rocking chair on the balcony swayed without wind. Sometimes Rachel felt a breath behind her, soft, close, almost like a child playing unseen. Daniel dismissed it all as stress and exhaustion. But Rachel's nights grew longer. The house felt like it was absorbing her thoughts. Its walls no longer strange but sorrowful, like they held memories of something broken. She began to sense that the house wasn't haunted by anger, but by grief. One afternoon, while cleaning, Rachel found an old trunk hidden behind the wardrobe. Inside lay a doll and a small diary. The doll's eyes were cracked, its face coated in dust. The diary's pages were yellowed and damp at the edges. The handwriting was childish, crooked, uneven, innocent, and full of pain. It belonged to a little girl who wrote about her parents fighting, her loneliness, and her fear. The final entry read, "I'm going to stay here forever with my doll. I don't have anyone left." Rachel closed the diary, her palms cold. She felt as though the child's breath still lingered in the air. That night, while tucking her kids into bed, she heard faint rustling from the walls, a sound that felt like someone trying to speak. But what she felt wasn't terror anymore. It was sadness and something close to compassion. Over time, Rachel stopped fearing the house. She began to sense a plea for understanding rather than menace. The house wasn't cursed. It was unfinished. It wasn't demanding fear. It was longing to be heard. Maybe someone was still waiting to finally be at peace. One night, when everyone was asleep, Rachel quietly lit small candles in every room. She stood still, listening, not with her ears, but with her heart. The air was cool, but not cold. The flames flickered, then steadied. A soft light spread through the rooms, as if someone had finally been set free. The next morning, the house felt different. Sunlight rested gently on the walls. The air smelled warm and clean. The children's laughter returned, bright and real. The rocking chair on the balcony no longer moved, but on its arm lay a thin trace of dust, shaped almost like a small handprint. That day, Rachel took the diary and the doll to a nearby church and left them there. After that, nothing strange ever happened again. Neighbors stopped calling it the haunted house and began calling it the old beautiful one again. The Parkers lived there for many years, filling it with warmth and life. Sometimes at night, Rachel would sit alone on the balcony, feeling the quiet air drift through. She often sensed a gentle presence nearby, someone no longer in pain, only at peace. She had come to understand something profound. Every haunting is just a story left untold, and every ghost was once someone's child. From that night onward, the house finally became what it was always meant to be, a home where fear had turned into understanding.